Hello and welcome to the Vetter discussion call. We host this call 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm so glad you're here. I'm also glad to be your host. My name is Ryan, and today we have a fantastic show lined up for you today. We're going to be interviewing just a phenomenal contributor in our community. And before we jump into that, I do have a couple of announcements and things to go over, but I do want to say that today's call is going to be fantastic. Whether you are brand new or whether you're a veteran in the community, what we're going to cover in today's call and me having the opportunity to interview this person is going to make a big difference in the results that you're getting. Like I said, whether you're brand new or whether you've been a veteran, in our community since day one. So just want to say that be sure to take some time to, grab something to take notes, record some ideas, record some concepts, because like I said, what we're going to share today is going to be a game changer for you. Now, if you're watching this right now, this is the first time you've ever tuned into the daily discussion call. Welcome again. My name is Ryan. This is a platform where these calls we utilize and cover the Vetter platform, which we show you how to find your next 2x, 5x, 10x or more, and we cover hands down the best research tool in the crypto space, which is the Vetter platform. Now, this is going to be an interactive call. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and I'll unmute you, or drop your questions in the comment section. And also, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop whatever questions you have there as well. And we'll be able to answer your questions there. Now, like I said, whether you are a veteran in our community or you're brand spanking new, today we're going to cover how best to utilize the best research tool in the crypto space. And if you watch this right now and you don't know what Vetter is, you don't know why we're excited and why this is a big deal, that's all right. Go ahead and visit vetter.ai. You're going to be able to learn exactly what we're up to, what we're about, and why we're making such an impact in the crypto space. Now, I will say that anything we cover today is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. What we cover is not financial advice. Okay, so it's not that. But whether it's sharing ideas and concepts on how you can use these ideas and concepts to get the kind of results that you want to get in the crypto space. I will also say that this is a research tool, okay? A research tool. It's not a crystal ball. People often ask, hey, show me the next 2x, show me the next 5x, show me the next 10x. And it's not really how that works. If it was how that works, we'd all be billionaires. Okay, it's not how that works. It's a research tool, and it allows you to find potential projects that meet your criteria that you could then choose to get into. I like to use this analogy. That the Vetter platform is really a form of leverage, and leverage is the ability to do more with less. Okay, leverage is the ability to do more with less. And so think about this. If you were to go out and try to lift your car, that would be really hard to do because cars are kind of heavy, and we're not necessarily, human beings aren't necessarily designed to lift the car, the vehicle. But what happens when we get a jack? And what happens when we stick the jack in the right location? What happens when we use the jack the appropriate way? We're able to lift the car. Okay, the ability to do more with less. Okay, Vetter platform, the Vetter ecosystem is a tool with massive leverage potential. It allows you to save yourself time, energy, and even money if you're following along and paying attention. Okay, so let's jump into some announcements. So we actually wrapped up the Croatia blockchain event. We wrapped up the Rome blockchain event. Berlin is next. And also there's some great video footage that was captured there in Rome, and that content's going to be coming out, so be looking for that. A new interview was released this last week with Robin Len and with Jack, one of our advisors. Fantastic video. Definitely want to check that out in Telegram. Also, there was a press release from this website, and I thought they had a pretty cool play on words there. Deciphering the blank from the bit. I thought that was pretty entertaining. Vetter AI is using AI tech to help investors vet crypto markets. Okay, and what I really like, this comment from Red Eye Jedi, a member in our community. This is so powerful. Vetter's a one-stop marketplace and community for crypto investors, from novice to expert, to buy, sell, trade, research, and discuss all things crypto, says brand global ambassador Robin Lin, a veteran of the space. It even offers its very own coin, Vetter token. So thought this was a really cool segment that was picked from that article and from that press release. Now, today, if you've been in Telegram, a lot of people have been asking, when launch, when token, when website, all of it's being worked on. So there was a little drip today, Better Ecosystem, introducing Skylab's VSL token, introducing CrowdX, Better token. So things are being worked on, things are being developed. You may have seen a video that I put out in Telegram a few weeks back about we've always been committed since day one to be laying each brick as perfectly and precisely as a brick can be laid. And brick by brick, brick by brick, brick by brick, we're building a foundation in which we can literally launch anything we could ever imagine, anything that you could ever imagine. But the only way we build that foundation is laying one brick as perfectly and precisely as a brick can be laid. And then the next brick as perfectly and precisely as that brick can be laid. And the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Okay, so progress has been made from day one. Now, sometimes it may be challenging to actually see that progress. Okay, sometimes people get to see to believe. Okay, but other people, they believe and then they see it. They have the vision. Okay, in their mind. There's another saying, if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Okay, things have been being worked on behind the scenes since the very beginning. There's never been a delay in the progress that we're making, literally brick by brick, as perfectly and precisely as bricks can be laid, and a commitment and dedication to excellence and integrity and precision and intentionality. And that's why you can look at the screen right here and say, wow, okay, this is a big deal. Okay, it is a big deal. And we are attracting big deal players and big deal relationships because of that commitment to excellence and laying one brick, each brick as perfectly and precisely as a brick can be laid. So with that, I wanted to share that. The site looks absolutely phenomenal, and that the improvements and tweaks and things that they're making are all done for a specific purpose, for a specific reason, with intentionality and precision behind it, because that's what we do here. That's who we are. We're raising the bar, we're changing the game, and we're raising the standard. So with that, I want to interview one of the members in our community who's just doing a phenomenal job. And when I say, this gentleman, he talks the talk, he walks the walk. Okay, he applies what is taught in the community and gets fantastic results. But here's what I absolutely love about the guy. Okay, while he's doing all of that, he actually is helping other people do the same thing. And I appreciate that. I can appreciate that. I can get behind that. Someone who is willing to not only, do something for himself, but being in a position in place to want to contribute and help and pour into other people as well. So with that being said, you know him as Matalliride on the platform. His name is Justin. Welcome, brother, to the call today. How are you, man?
Hey, guys. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here, man. One of the things that's, when our paths crossed early on, I could tell that, you're the kind of guy who, no fluff, you're going to get the job done. You do what you say you're going to do. And it wasn't because of what was coming out of your mouth. It was because of what you were actually doing. And so I just want you to know, man, I appreciate you. I respect you. And I'm so glad that our paths have crossed and we have the opportunity to work together. So again, thanks for being on the call today.
Oh, no problem. And feelings mutual. Thanks, bud.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how long have you been a part of the Vetter community?
I joined the Vetter community on October 6th,
okay.
2021. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were about the same time frame then. I know that I had gotten involved just by pure timing. That I found out just before the token was launching, Vetter was launching, and I was able to be a part of the whitelist, and I was able to do some things early on. But it was perfect timing. So it sounds like we were in that same boat.
Yep, you bet. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to get into the whitelist for Vetter, and haven't looked back since all
Yeah,
day.
that's awesome. So how did you find the community? How did you even find out about Vetter, and how did you get plugged in?
By spending an absolute ton of money. I I I lost so much money last spring, last summer, getting involved in crypto and thinking I was a hot shot, getting into the pre-sales before they actually launched, and I tell you, I was batting like 2 for 20
Yeah,
on launches out there, and I was kind of swinging for the fences. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I kind of got fed up one day, and I just started Googling and YouTubing pre-sales and what to do, and this Vetter YouTube video kept coming, or actually I think it was the Tribe 100X
yeah,
video kept coming up in YouTube, and I clicked on it, and I literally had an aha moment, probably halfway through that video. So I kind of did a bit more research on the Tribe 100X and Mike's vision and whatnot. And so I joined the Tribe 100X Discord group, took his courses that he had, and then kind of worked the Discord group, and found it all of a sudden those tides are shifting a bit, and
yeah,
going from 2 to 20, I was kind of now all of a sudden at, 12 to 20. So
yeah.
I saw a big potential there. So and then of course from that, the Discord, it morphed into the Vetter ecosystem. So
Right.
yeah,
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you found it from a place of pain. You're out there struggling, losing some money, banging your head against the wall, and then you found Tribe 100X and started getting some guidance, starting to apply what was being taught from the system, some of the things and tips and tricks maybe being shared in the Discord, so part of the community aspect. That's one of the things I absolutely love about the Vetter platform is the fact that crowdsource intelligence and literally people from all over the world, different walks of life, different experiences, all coming together, sharing ideas and concepts, and like just those two things, the right information, the right culture, and you went from 2 out of 20 to then 12 out of 20. You're making progress, making improvements, and so that's fantastic. So just out of curiosity, what do you do for a living, and if you or what did you do for a living before you became a part of the community?
well, for about 20 plus years, I've been a new home builder,
Okay.
and in the construction industry there.
Yeah.
And I was partners with my dad. We've actually been a company that's been around in our local community here for over 70 years. So we've been
Wow.
around a long time, and we've kind of learned and everything from my dad, and kind of a mentor, and taught me what I do now. He passed away a couple of years ago, and at that time it was just pretty kind of difficult to go to work every day, and
Yeah.
I found I was kind of more working for him than me. So I started kind of looking around at a few of the things. I got involved in a bunch of other small businesses, and found that I thoroughly enjoy sitting on the beach.
Yeah.
So I thought, what I want to do is I want to find something where I can kind of work from anywhere, as long as I got Wi-Fi. And I entered the e-commerce world, and did a bit of drop shipping and a little bit of affiliate marketing, but primarily, I've got quite a few online stores with quite a bit of staff now, and that's going great. That's kind of been what I've been doing for the last 5 years or so, and uh, yeah, and now I'm kind of almost 50-50 my time between working the Vetter platform, and investing in crypto early stage, and my e-commerce companies.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So again, there was a bit of a pain. There was a shift in there was a pain point and then a shift, and you found something that's working for you. But no, I think there's a lot of people who can relate to the idea of laptop lifestyle, having Wi-Fi and being able to do whatever do whatever you want to do because you have that lifestyle. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I found I was very quick to embrace the live for me instead of live for work kind of mentality.
No
And
kidding.
it does that.
No kidding. Now, one of the things that I was curious about, can you think back and tell me about the first time you ripped or rip FT? Do you remember the first time you got a rip or a rip FT?
Yes, I do. And it was an awesome one. It was a project called Glory Doge, which
Okay.
is on the calendar. I don't really remember too much of the details of who the scout or whatever it was. I actually think I may have got it out of the Discord at the time, but I think it was right at that time when the D app came out. And yeah, I was excited. I woke up. It had launched kind of through the night. I woke up and I think I had contributed one BNB to that pre-sale, and it was about uh, I want to say about 6 or 7 times when I woke up, and
Nice.
I did what Mike kind of preached there in the videos where I pulled up my initial investment and I felt pretty strong about that project, so I think I might have taken profits of about 50%, left 50% to ride, um, and and then ended up cashing out the rest of those about a month later.
Yeah.
Just just because I wanted to get into another project, but yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's
And
fun.
that was my very first project I did with, and let me tell you, I was hooked after that. That was awesome.
Yeah. No, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. So, can you think back to like what were the feelings that were going through your mind, the thoughts going through your mind as you wake up and you see it, 7x.
Well, my first thought was, is this is too good to be true? Come on, like the first project. Because I'm going to tell you what, it was like a few days later, there was another project called Baked Cake,
Yeah.
and I did, and the exact same thing happened. And so now 2 in a row, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, this is not, this is odd. This
Yeah.
doesn't happen. And but I went through the Discord and I went through the vetting that they had done, and the chat that was going on about the projects, and it just sounded so good, and I was kind of jumping on their coattails, and well, man, it was a rush. It was a rush waking up and seeing those gains. It was a rush to be able to implement what Mike was preaching about the RIP FT strategy, and what a fantastic strategy that is.
Yeah.
And the only thing is make it your own. Like there's projects where I will do that and I will leave 20% tokens in or 10% tokens in, or I'll just rip the whole thing, or I'll just take. There's been a few projects I've done very well on, where I've just left taken my initial investment and left 100% of free tokens in there. So
Right.
yeah, great strategy, and just great feeling when it comes to works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're listening now and you don't know what we're talking about, so in Tribe 100X, which was really the training grounds for Better Platform, this concept was being utilized in a Discord group and being refined and collaborated on and just becoming efficient. And so it's a strategy called RIP RIP or RIP FT RIP FT, and RIP stands for recoup investment profit. Okay, so RIP, you recouped your investment and you profited. That's a RIP. Now, RIP FT is you recoup investment, you profited, and you left in free tokens. So, you had your threshold of like, what, I want to recoup my investment plus 20%, 30%, 50%, 80%, and then I want to leave in X amount of tokens in case it, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 10x, 100x. And so, it's one of those strategies that was born from collaboration, from the crowdsourced intelligence model, and it allows you to get your money back. So now you're no longer at risk, but now you got free tokens, let it ride, and you can now move your money to the next project, the next opportunity, the next project that's on the CrowdX calendar. And so, what Justin is saying is absolutely game-changing strategy, and you can make it your own. Whatever percentages, and work it the way you want it, but it's definitely customizable to your own lifestyle and to your goals. So after you got a couple of those projects in a row, Justin, were you starting to picture that beach lifestyle? You're like, wait a second, this is this is reality. We're getting close here. It's going to happen.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I got pretty excited, and it was also a very exciting time for crypto. Last fall, things were going well, and the market seemed to be up pretty good, and it kind of just felt like this was going to be the way it's going to be, and so, I started looking at taking a little bit more time and freedom, and thinking that, what, this is, so what I did is I actually set a goal at that time that I'm going to start investing, and when I can, and my goal is to make 10 B&B a week. At that
Yeah.
time, I wanted to profit 10 B&B a week, and if I could do that and sustain that for 6 months, then I'm basically, this is what I'm going to do full time. I'm going to dedicate all my energy to this, and well, that didn't 100% happen for 6 months. There was a couple down times, and there is still, quite a bit that goes sideways, but I mean, at the end of the day, I've definitely averaged that when you look back over the last 7 or 8 months, but certainly hasn't been consistent.
Sure. I
For
mean,
there, but
there's a
I
journey.
pretty much am at a point now where I probably spend minimum 50% of my time, if not maybe a bit more, on this than
Yeah.
anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I've got a great team of employees and people that work for me who can kind of take the e-commerce stuff and look after that. So I have a lot more freedom to do that. But if they didn't have that, I could still be 50+% of my time doing this.
Right. So what would you say were some of the maybe the biggest struggles that you faced, or some of the biggest lessons you've learned since you've been in this space and navigating the pre-sale market? And again, what are some of the struggles that you faced that you overcame, or what were some of the the challenges that you had to overcome?
So there's a ton of little things that I had to overcome. Like, for instance, now sitting here today and getting involved with, say, for instance, a pre-sale on Pink Sale, I will go, and the very first thing that I do when I open the Pink Sale, the very first thing I do, actually, I'll take one step back. The very first thing I do is I grab the Pink Sale link from either the website or the pin messages from the group. Whereas before, I would take it right from the regular, even if it was Rose that was posting it, which we know can be duplicated or false. So
Right.
that was the first thing that I did. And then getting onto the Pink Sale site, I would make sure the first thing I would do before looking at the project that it was that pinksale.finance proper link, because that is probably the number one way that I've been scammed in the past, is entering participating in a pre-sale that actually wasn't the actual project, and it was a scam project. And
Okay.
early on, that happened quite a few times, and so yeah, I'm pretty. I can confidently say that doesn't happen much anymore at
Yeah.
all.
No, it
So
sounds like that was a lesson
yeah,
that you need to
oh, sorry.
learn.
Yeah, it's those little things. Like, yes, that is a big thing, but I mean, in the big grand scheme of things, that is kind of a little thing. I have had, I'm a very data driven person, and I like to track every single thing that I do. And one thing that I've noticed is that if I've participated in 200 projects in the last 8 months, which is probably about right, I would say that 95% of the DXL projects that I did ended up going sideways or scams. And so I've completely eliminated. I don't even go on that site anymore. I don't look at projects on there anymore. Because I'm not going to take the chance. Those are horrible stats. So that's
Yeah.
another thing that I overcame. I just stopped doing that, eliminated that from my toolbox, and so I don't have that fear of getting scammed there. Structure. I didn't have systems in place before. I didn't
Yeah.
track things before. That is like, one of the most important things you could do is watch your volume of launches and paper trade, and I didn't do that from the start, and that got me in a bit of trouble. I wasn't able to follow trends and find what's hot, where the hype is, whatnot, and I do that now in the last few months, and I've been so much more successful doing that and implementing those strategies.
That is awesome. That was actually one of the things I was going to say next, because I know you and I have talked a lot about this before, and I want you, those listening right now, think back to what he just said. He realized And he was aware and realized that a lot of the projects, a good portion of the projects that he was getting into on a specific site, all had really similar results, which were less than ideal. and that happens because he was able to catch that because he was documenting and watching and realizing what's going on, and aware enough to realize that. And so, all the time, we talk about volume of launches, we talk about paper trading, we talk about documenting the process. And this is one of those patterns that can emerge. Just the other day in Telegram, someone chimed in and said, hey, don't ever participate in a pre-sale over the weekend. Now, I don't know if they meant a pre-sale over the weekend or a launch over the weekend. Either way, they were just saying that like a lot of them are scams. And, I don't know if this was just his opinion, but if you're documenting this and you just start realizing that every launch you get in that's on a Saturday or Sunday, it always tanks or goes sideways, that's a clue, and that's the value of a volume of launches. That's a value of paper trading, to find out the data behind what's going on. And Justin, you do a phenomenal job at that. I mean, you've even said that sometimes, during this season, that you're actually paper trading sometimes more than participating in launches.
I paper trade more than I participate in launches all the time, constantly. I think I've got about 5 of them on the go right now, and I'm in 2 projects right now.
Right.
Now, having said that, I'm in a bit of a fortunate position where occasionally when I paper trade, I actually do contribute 0.1 BNB to that, and the reason for that is, first of all, I mean, I feel like if I can afford to lose $30, or I can afford to invest $30 into that knowledge I'm going to gain. But the main reason for doing that, and I talked to my employees here, that kind of, we have our own little group here, is that the number one biggest thing that I have probably done in my journey is I've had a great ability to be able to take out the emotions in my trades. And that is probably one of the biggest things that got me in trouble, and right from the start. And it's one of the things that I try to put a lot of emphasis on is taking the emotions out of it. And so by adding that 0.1 BNB to some of these, what I hope paper trading projects, is allowing me to have a little bit of emotions into it and work on that, work on taking it out, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's added. It's hard to not have emotions when there's a financial position in play. And so even just that small amount, I feel it gets me in tune with my emotions. What am I feeling? How am I reacting to this and whatnot? And it helps me that way. I think that paper trading is the absolute greatest tool that you could do in this world, and keep that data going from that.
Absolutely. No, that's it's super important, because like it allows you to, yes, anytime money's involved, our brains can get a little foggy. and it operates on both ends of the spectrum. Okay, we could be, for example, we may want to FOMO in because fear of missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out. We want to get in because we don't want to lose. Okay, and that can cause us to make really silly choices. Like, we know better. Okay, but sometimes, man, that little bit of dopamine, that hit in the brain of adrenaline, it can really mess with some things. Okay, and like the thing about it is, it can happen on the flip side too. So for example, let's say you're going for a 2X, you're going for a 3X, and intellectually, that that's your target. Through a volume of launches, the kind of projects that you look at, they consistently do a 2X or 3X. That's your target. But all of a sudden, price starts to dump, and you're at 50% of what you started with, or price started going up maybe 80% gain, and then now it's down only 50% gain, and you're like, oh man, should I pull out? That's also that our mind is like, oh my goodness, the fear of like, oh man, I don't want to lose my money now. and that can impact our decisions. And so what I found, and I've come from a Forex background, and so demo trading was a really big deal in the Forex space, and from one of the mentors I learned from. And it was literally about becoming a robot, check the emotions, set them aside, and just stick to the plan. And stick to the plan. And he would always say, okay, so we're using a 3-pip stop loss, so a really tight stop loss. But he would always say, so what? It's a -3. It's a -3. So what? It's a -3. Okay, you just got a +10. You just got a +20. This is a -3. So what? And that was really helpful for me to break it down. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. Because another way to look at it in the crypto space is, okay, so you do minimum allocation of a 0.1, and you lose. Okay, great. You lost a 0.1. It's just a 0.1. On the next one you got a 0.2. Okay, plus free tokens. On the next one, you got a 0.2 plus free tokens. A 0.1 is insignificant, when you're sticking to the plan. And so, that's why I talk a lot about volume of launches and paper trading, to just kind of flush out that FOMO, flush out that fear of losing it all, flush out the FOMO of like, I got to get in because I don't want to miss it, and just stick to the plan. Now, one of the things that you had said, Justin, I really thought was really cool, that when you invested into the upcoming Launchpad, the next evolution of the Vetter ecosystem, you did that with profits that you had earned by utilizing the strategies, right?
Yep, 100% of my allocation is all profits from working the platform.
I think that's fantastic. Like, that makes me so excited. Okay, so what Justin's saying is, he was struggling before he found the Vetter platform and community. He got plugged in, and he literally went from 2 out of 20 to 12 out of 20, started getting better, started figuring some things out. Then he takes the profits that he makes and then reinvests that into the next chapter of the Vetter ecosystem. That's like free money. That's so cool. So that day when you were, putting that contribution down, how did you feel realizing, like, over the last handful of months, the progression that you'd been on, where literally you were giving a lot of money to the market, and now you're taking money from the market and reinvesting it to the next chapter of the ecosystem?
I felt pretty proud. I actually was with a couple of my my employees here that work Vetter in the crypto as well, and one of them was able to do the exact same thing from what we did. And when I started back in the beginning of October, I because I had gone on such a low average coming into Vetter, the Discord, I set one BNB aside. And, I've only ever contributed that one BNB out of my own bank account into crypto. And, I was able to put just over 40 BNB into the private sale
That's awesome.
For the new project. And one of my guys here, same thing. He had started with one BNB just early this just after Christmas, actually. And I think he used all of his profits too. He put about, I think this is about between 12 and 15 BNB or so that he put in too, which is, again, all free money that we made from the platform. So I felt very proud. I felt very proud for me. I felt very proud for him. And I feel very proud for, all the people in the private sale group and the main group who have been able to contribute the same way. It's just awesome.
No, that is fantastic. And like, it's exciting to hear that, and to hear not only you're winning, and this is one of the reasons I wanted you to share your story. Not only are you winning, and even if you were just the only one winning, I would still be celebrating you. Okay. But like,
Thanks.
what I love is, while you're winning, you're saying, hey, you want to win too? Let me help you out. You want to win too? All right, let's do it together. You want to win too? Let me answer your questions. You want to win too? Hey, this is what I figured out. And just your willingness to contribute and pour into others and support the community is just phenomenal, man. So like, thank you for your contribution. Thank you for always being willing to pour into others and share your ideas and thoughts, man. I appreciate that so much. So thank you for that.
No problem. I love having the ability to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's great.
And so this leads me to the next thing that I wanted you to share, because you had shared something with me that I thought was like super cool. Okay. So again, the story we're talking about here is banging your head against the wall, struggling, 2 out of 20, getting a little bit more information, finding some better ideas, getting in a community, getting the right information, 12 out of 20, starting to make some money. You're able to put in, a little bit, a small amount in the beginning, grow that up, use your profits to then invest in the next chapter. You're helping other people do the same thing. But here's man, this is a story I want you to tell, man. Tell me about what you and your group did together. Okay, when you guys had a trading club, what did you guys do together, and what did you accomplish?
Okay, yeah. So I don't remember when exactly, but quite a few months ago, the Vetter started a pilot project, the Vetter Trading Club, which a lot of us are aware of. And I thought the second I heard that, that has got to be the absolute coolest idea in the world. And I'll tell you why. Is like I mentioned my story about kind of striking out for months and months and months before getting involved in Vetter. Is I'm thinking, you know, there's people like me and I'm sure a ton of our members that are are kind of alone on this journey in crypto, and they're, yes, they have the scout reports and the Vetter reports for projects on the calendar, and they have those tools, and that's awesome. And then there is the Telegram groups to be able to talk and discuss the projects. But one thing I liked about the Discord is that we were able to dive really deep into projects, and now I see that starting to happen a lot more on the Telegram group, which is amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But what I thought is, um, I started out on my own, and I know I would have been a lot more successful if I had some like-minded people come together and let's all kind of look at the same thing, and we all have strengths and weaknesses that others do and don't, and let's put all those together and let's just fill our toolbox with everything we need to make the best informed decision on a project where we'll all move forward. And so
Right.
I have half a dozen employees here that are very excited about the crypto world. And so we kind of came together. I explained to them about the Vetter Trading Club, what the intention is, what they want to do. And I thought, hey guys, I'm not able to be able to join that group. It was just a pilot project and whatnot. We just want to try it all out. But let's kind of do that on our own here. Let's take projects from the calendar and let's have a look at them. Let's take a deep dive into these projects, and to the best of our abilities, let's come up with something. Let's see what we can do. So
Right.
we started doing that. We took 3 or 4 projects, and I was a lot kind of more into the vetting scouting kind of world than these guys were. So I obviously kind of led the kind of how to do, what to do, what to look at, and then they
Yeah.
started kind of taking that info, making it their own, doing the same thing. We did that to a few projects. We paper traded the first few, maybe half dozen, and we thought, hey, this is kind of fun. This is cool.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? So let's put some money into this. So I had 6 guys here that wanted to do it, and I said, you know what, here guys, if you guys contribute 1 BNB each to this wallet, I will match you, and let's take that money and let's work this club. So we
Yeah.
did that. They each came up with 1 BNB, 6 BNB. I put in 6 BNB of my money into it. We had 12 BNB to start with, and I said, let's start this. Let's do this serious. Let's take an hour of a day out of our work day and sit down and go over projects. So we did, and we did amazing. So we did. It was between 6 weeks and 2 months that we did this. We had, I think it was either 12 or 13 projects that we participated in with
Okay.
that fund,
Yeah.
and 9 out of the 13 were profitable. A matter of fact, a few of them were actually very, very profitable. After the 8 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it was finished, we each took 8. We left our initial 12 B&B in our group, which is still there today, and we're actually just getting ready to get started again on doing it. The few guys are away on holidays, and so we've got that 12 still in that wallet, and we each were able to take out 8.5 B&B profit out of that from doing that from the calendar. So in basically 8 weeks, we made over 50 B&B profit.
That is fantastic.
Yeah,
That
really
is
exciting.
fantastic. Now, how did that make you feel? I mean, because like this has been an epic journey, and now you're in a place where like you're teaching your team to do the same thing. You're in a place of leadership and influence, and you're duplicating the process that's worked for you. And so super exciting to start. But how did it feel when you're divvying up 8.5 B&B for each person?
It felt absolutely amazing. It felt so cool to see the excitement on these guys' face. And one of the most exciting and the proudest moments I had is when almost all of them said, we don't want the 8.5 B&B. Let's put it back in and kind of stay on our same trajectory. Don't go for gold, but let's just keep moving, keep doing this, keep building, and seeing the morale with these guys and even their work ethic is even better, I gotta say.
Yeah.
And like I say, we've been fortunate that we had a good average there with 9 out of 12 being green projects and 3 not. Those losses weren't the greatest days, but we're pretty quick to remind those other 9 wins. So yeah, super excited. It got them talking with their family and friends, and I know that there's been quite a few members and holders that have now entered Vetter because of that, and it's just a fantastic, cool feeling knowing that you can help financially, emotionally, these guys. Yeah, it's just awesome. It makes it fun to come to work. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And that's what I like about it. This doesn't necessarily have anything to do with work, but it has everything to do with life and connection and having a vision, teamwork, working together, working through the things that didn't actually work out that well, learning, growing. I mean, it's just like, it's super awesome to hear that. And like the moment that you told me that, I was so excited for you and your team. Cause like, that's game changing stuff. Absolutely game changing. And to hear, how excited they were, the fact that, they want to keep going, the fact, hey, let's not pull it out. Let's continue to see what we can do, how to grow it, how to scale up. That is a super, super cool story on what you guys created there. And well done. Very well done.
Yeah, thank you. And to add to that, I can tell you that a lot of these guys here have gave me some tools from my toolbox for scouting and vetting projects that I didn't have before, like having all these great minds come together and share. And I mean, I made a post, I think it was last night, on the main Telegram group about there's nothing more that I'd like to see than multiple vettings per project and not just one. And this is exactly why. Is because I can tell you that the value, it wasn't all me. It was all 7 of us that came together, and they had so much more information I didn't even think about asking or looking into, or because I'm in the e-commerce world, we were able to take a deep dive in some of the actual construction of the websites and see, where are they hosted? How long have they been around for? Like, what is the quality of the sites? Like, so much more where I couldn't necessarily do that on my own, but I was able to do that with a couple of these guys. And so now I'm bringing that to my scouting and vetting reports on projects. It just educated me that much more. So it's just an absolute win-win-win on every level. And yeah, like I say, I mean, I would love to see multiple. I know that I'm going to start vetting projects that are already vetting, because maybe I bring something more that vetter didn't, and vice versa. And just, it's all about moving forward in a positive way. And that's an awesome way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did see your post, because this is one of the things I love about the platform and the community that we have here is literally the crowdsourced model, and all of us with different perspectives, different ideas, different skill sets, all of those things being different, it's all an asset. And no one is right and no one is wrong. It is what it is. but people collectively working together to provide whatever insights they have, all for the overall good of the community. It's just like it's such a cool process and experience to be a part of. And just I just want to say, brother, you literally embody the when I think of Vetter, okay, when I think of Vetter, when I think of the ecosystem, when I think of the platform, and I think of what it can do for people, you like embody that vision for me. Like when I hop on the daily discussions, when I hop on in Telegram, when I do the different things that I do, like I'm doing it for the people and to create a story that you have, to have that resource of like, this is where I was, this is where I was struggling, I plugged in, this is where I'm at now, and now I'm helping other people. Like that just, man, it just excites me so much to see people win, and like you said, not just win financially, but like this experience for you and your team, it improved other areas of life, and like it's super cool that yeah, we're in the crypto space and yeah, it's about money, but it's about more than that. You know, it's about life, it's about impact. And I just again, super awesome what you guys have created and what you've been up to.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And I tell you, because of my experience with this group, I'm so looking forward to the season 2 of the Vetter Trading Club and seeing what's all going to be involved there and getting going on that. That's going to be awesome, where we can all take part and do stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah. And season 2, season 1, we learned a lot. It was a pilot program, so it was new, and juggling a handful of things. And season 2, there's some changes being made that's going to make it a lot more fun, a lot more interactive, and it's going to be exciting. There's some stuff that we're working on that I think that it's going to, again, everything is about raising the standard, raising the bar, showing up in excellence. And so whether it's on the calls like this, whether it's in Telegram, whether it's the website, everything that we want to touch as a community, we want to show up in excellence and bring our best as best we can. And it's not about being perfect or imperfect. It's not about that. It's just like doing the absolute best that we can. So yeah, season 2 of Vetter Trading Club will be coming, and it will be a really fun process and really fun experience. So with that, brother, is there anything else you want to share before we hop off? If there's something you want to tell people who've been part of the community, or if you want to say something for members who are brand new and there's just maybe even looking at Vetter for the first time, is there anything you want to share, add to what we've talked about so far?
Well, one thing I would like to say is, especially to anybody that's new coming in, there is no dumb or stupid questions. I promise you that. Ask away, ask the questions. We have, I look at 30, 40, 50 projects a day, and they're through their Telegram groups. And I can tell you that I have never one time in the well over 1,000 projects that I've looked at seen any mods or admins as good as the guys we got in our group. Like, we have got the absolute best Telegram that I've ever seen anywhere. And, it's funny because I actually kind of go into a few of the projects and using our Telegram group as a benchmark is to see kind of where they stand towards it. And like, it's a waste of time because there's nobody around. Like, forget it. So ask a million questions. There's no dumb questions. There's like private message any of the mods or any of the people that are there with questions, or like me, if I'm talking about a project, you can message me and talk to me if you don't feel comfortable in the main chat thinking it is a dumb question. Just communicate. That is how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to be successful in this world, is communicating, taking part in these daily calls and chiming in and learning from these. That's the biggest thing for me is communication. Go through the Vetter University and the videos, and I mean, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the videos that Mike had, and those are great videos, but there's a ton more that are available now that there was back then. So yeah, check out all the videos, take the time and invest in yourself, and you will be successful in this world for sure.
Awesome, brother. Hey, thank you so much for again, thank you for your contribution. You know, your contribution in the community, but also just the fact that you were clear on what it was that you wanted to do, and you took action. You took action on it. You plugged in. You put in the work, and you failed. You learned. You failed. You learned. You got some more experience, and you're starting to teach other people. You're helping your team out. I mean, it's just like, I just thank you, absolutely thank you. You embody, like I said, you embody what I think this community is all about, and you embody what I see as potential for everyone, not just you. You're not the exception, my friend. Like, and I don't know, I don't mean that negatively towards you. I mean that positively towards anybody else listening. There are things that we all have gone through in life to get us where we are now. And in order for you to get to the next chapter, you get to show up. You get to take the action. You get to apply some of the things we're teaching. You get to check the ego. You get to ask questions. You get your questions answered. But like the biggest thing is you get to keep going and persist. So again, hey brother, thank you so much again for being a part of the community. Thank you for your contribution. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask Justin before we hop off here? You feel free to raise your hand or drop them in the comment section if there's anything you'd like him to cover while we're here. Okay, no questions. Well, no, not a problem. So I tell you what we can do. How about we look at see if we can look at a couple projects real quick before we hop off here for the day. Does anybody have any projects they want to take a look at, or even Justin, do you have a project that's coming up that maybe you want to take a look at?
I got a project that both Brink 36 and I vetted now. It is Metacart in you. I'm liking the project. Yeah, they're just past it there, right there.
Oh,
right, two down. Yeah, no.
oh,
Nope. Go back.
There we go. Metacart Inu. Okay, so yeah. What do you like right off the bat? What do you like about the project so far?
Okay, so the first thing when I first saw it was cool graphics. Cool, like as soon as I opened the website, the bright colors, everything kind of got me and caught me there. It's not a bad website. I like the website. And I also like the fact that there's 14-ish thousand people in the Telegram group and virtually no bots. It's very hyped. I like gaming coins right now. I've been posting a lot, and this one definitely has quite a bit of hype to it. Intro video is great. The communication with the team and the CEO Mike has been fantastic. Very quick to answer my questions and won't shy away from anything I have to ask. I'm pretty interested in this project.
Nice. So was there anything that you were maybe unsure about with the project, and you're able to get your questions answered?
Yeah, I did get my questions answered. However, there were a couple things that I didn't like. I'm just trying to. So one of them was the fact that the team is actually not doxed. They say that they're doxed, but they've doxed to Contract Wolf, and I don't put a whole lot of stock to that. I mean, like unless you're going to dox to the community where I personally can click on your profiles, I can have a look. And when I say doxed, I don't necessarily just mean LinkedIn. I mean, if you had a Facebook profile or anything like that, or a video AMA on your Telegram group, I would kind of consider that doxing. I mean, at the end of the day, really, there is no way to be doxed. I mean, how many fake Facebook accounts have you seen? How many fake LinkedIn accounts are there? Like they are some out there. So, but it's better than nothing anyway. So I didn't like the fact of that. I mean, like I've said many times before, if you're not willing to stand behind your project, I'm not standing behind it either. And these guys claim and say that they are standing behind their project. They do have that with Contract Wolf, and there is a bit of value there. Again, it's not doxed though; it's KYC'd. So on all the other boxes being checked for me, I'm kind of cutting a little bit of slack there. They also haven't hosted any AMAs yet. However, and I don't know what part of the world they're in, but 3 a.m. Vancouver time here, Pacific Standard Time, tomorrow or later tonight, 3 a.m. They are hosting a video chat where they are saying they will be doxed to the community and blah blah blah. And I can tell you, I'm not staying awake for that. Forget it. I mean, this is a Thursday night. Forget it. So hopefully it'll be recorded and I'll watch that in the morning. That is kind of what my last remaining piece of the puzzle that I'm looking at for this this project. You know, it's got a 800 B&B soft cap, 1600 B&B hard cap, which in this current market I think is a little bit high. But having said that, if it does have this hype and if it does reach that, their plans for that money with marketing and whatnot is it would make this, I feel, pretty successful. They are talking about having a Surtek audit done as soon as the project launches. I asked them, why are you waiting? I mean, I feel like any project that says they're going to wait till after the launch, it's because they don't have any money to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, they average about 20 grand. You know, they take up to 3 weeks to complete. So why would you not at least put a deposit and start the process now? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't like that, but they basically say that it will be, and you know, talk is cheap. Yeah, we're going to get a Surtek audit after it launches. Sure,
Right.
you are. I asked them, what are your, like, so you can see in my report, I said, I see, you know, an audit has been mentioned, like talk is cheap. Like, what's your assurances it's actually going to happen? And, you know, there isn't really an answer to that. I mean, if you put yourself in their shoes, how do you answer that? I guess,
Right.
you know, you can't really say, but so we got to kind of take a bit of their word for it. I tell you, if this project is able to follow the roadmap that they have laid out, this would be a very successful project, even longer term, if it in fact follows their roadmap, which we know is right now in this day and age is virtually impossible to do. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like I say, I'm kind of waiting for that video chat AMA, and then I will probably most likely participate. Not financial advice, but I'll probably participate in this project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you know, so what we're talking about, you know, if you're new to these calls, you know, we all have a list of criteria or checklist or things that we're looking for with certain projects. And, you know, one of the things that Justin has said time and time again is, you know, if you're not willing to stand behind your project, why should I? You know, meaning from a doxing perspective. And so while this team isn't necessarily doxed the way that, you know, to the extent and what Justin's specifically looking for, what he's saying is there's enough other things that are positive that have the potential to outweigh that particular one thing that he looks for. And so, you know, when you hear us talking about these different things, we're talking about, you know, the website. We're talking about what's on the website, how it's designed. Is it like quality? Could we have made this to ourselves? Could we have gone to, you know, Fiverr and have a website made for us by the end of the day? You know, what's a Telegram like? Is it vibrant? How old is a Telegram? Communication. What about the questions and the answers in Telegram? Is it botted? Is there hype? Are people excited? Are there pinned messages? Do they get on voice chat? You know, those are some of the things you can ask yourself when you're looking at a Telegram group. And then when it comes down to the team, are they doxed? And so the next handful of questions about the team, obviously, if they're not doxed, it's hard to answer these questions. But like, these are some of the things that I would recommend that you are documenting when you're looking at projects to start finding patterns that emerge. So for example, for a docs team, well, what's the age of the team? Are they young? Are they middle-aged? Are they older? Do they have experience in a prior field or background, you know, where they've actually gone through some things? They've had some challenges. They've had some struggles. How many prior projects have they done? What's their prior experience? Not necessarily in projects specifically in the crypto space, but in general, prior experience. You know, is there a KYC? What kind of marketing is in place? You know, do they just say, yeah, we have marketing. We paid for travel ad. We paid for, you know, Caesar or Venom. You know, like, is that the extent of their marketing plans, or do they have more things lined up? What about their social profiles? You know, is there real engagement outside of Telegram? Is there real engagement in Discord? Is there real engagement on Twitter, on YouTube, on other sites? Is that what's going on? And also, to what Justin was saying about the Surtek audit, so saying Surtek that you're going to get it after the fact, yeah, it can be expensive. So they may need the funds from the launch to actually, pay for the Surtek. But some people could also use that as a marketing piece, as in, well, they're going to have a Surtek audit. It doesn't actually mean that they're going to, commit and actually get one. They have the potential to use that kind of as like a carrot, a dangling carrot in front of you, like, oh, they're going to get one. They're going to get one. Just like sometimes, I don't understand why projects do this, but like sometimes projects will say, well, yeah, we'll do our first voice chat, or we'll docs right after launch or right before launch, or like, it's like, why? I mean, I understand the Surtek as it relates to funds. I get that part, but like as far as doxing or doing a first voice chat, either right before launch or immediately following launch, it's like, why wait? Why not just do it in advance? So these are some of the things that we're looking for as we're looking at projects and as we're digging into different things. So it comes down to, for yourself, are there enough upside? Are there enough positive things that you're like, you know what? I like all these things. Any negative things that come up, I have more positive that way, and I'm willing to take a swing at this project. That's what it comes down to. So as far as the pre-sale, one of the things I would say, like you said, it does seem like there is hype and excitement. And so I am curious to see how quickly this fills. I did watch a project the other day, last week. They raised, how long is the pre-sale going to be? 4 days. Okay. I'd be curious to see how this works out. So I did watch a pre-sale the other day. They raised, there was a 1,200 B&B raise. They raised 600 B&B in 3 minutes and ended up raising the full 1,200 in 39 minutes. So it filled pretty quick. I suppose one of the upsides of this bear market or this down market could be there may not be as many people jumping in as quickly. And, so if this is a high profile launch, maybe there's enough time for you to get in. Like the other project, there's plenty of time to get in. And like I said, they did fill their raise, but I am curious about this. One of the things that I like to see personally, there was a project the other day, a sector protocol. They were only doing a 250 hard cap raise, 125 soft cap. And it took them, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 days to raise 250 BNB. But they had a 6 or 7 day raise. And one of the things I like to see is a shorter time frame. I think psychologically, a shorter time frame creates urgency and scarcity, and almost like this FOMO of like, oh, I need to get in because it could fill up before I get there. With the other project sector, like I said, it took a handful of days. And I think people were just sitting on the fence waiting, waiting to see if they're going to get in or not. And I personally, after seeing this a handful of times, I personally don't think that if it takes a while to raise, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be buying pressure at launch. From what I've watched and some of the projects I've watched and my volume of launches, that there's still buying pressure. There's some kind of psychological burden whenever there's like a 7-day, 10-day pre-sale. And people are like, well, why would I have my money locked up? To think about Justin's story and the team and how much, the gains that they received over the last handful of, that period of time, 6 to 8 weeks. There's a project, here's an opportunity to get in, but like your money's locked up for 10 days. And this example is 4. I'm just using a extended example, but like your money's locked up. So if you were to invest in a project that has a 10-day pre-sale, it's almost like, okay, mark it on your calendar for 10 days from now, 9 days from now, and do your business and get into other pre-sales. So your money's not locked up for, a handful of days. That's how I look at it anyway. So with that, hey, Justin, again, hey, thank you so much for taking some time out and being on the call today and providing your insights into your process, but also this project, Metacart Inu. The pre-sale does start in 17 hours. So you guys do have plenty of time to do your due diligence, hop in the Telegram, ask the questions, connect with Justin and in Paul, Break 36, connect with them in Telegram. share some of the things that you like about the project. Maybe some of the red flags that maybe you've seen, or some of the questions that you have. Ask your questions in Metacart e-news, Telegram. But yeah, there's plenty of time for you to do your due diligence, see if this checks the boxes for you. So with that, I'm going to check the chat, see if there's anything I missed here. Kim, I think you might be asking about the Vetter Trading Club calls. Nope. Season 1 ended a few weeks back. Season 2 is going to be coming up, and we will have announcements about Season 2. It's going to be a lot of fun, making some modifications and some changes to that. And then Catherine asked, how do we get considered for Vetter Trading Club? Right now, we're putting things together to see how we're going to have participants for Season 2. If anybody's interested, definitely be on the lookout for information on how that will go. And I think that is all the questions. Justin, hey man, you did a fantastic job. People enjoyed the session today, and I knew they would. Because, like I said, I knew some of these stories. I wanted to make sure the community knew some of these stories, and it would be a means of inspiration for everybody who plugged in. So, hey, brother, thank you for being you. Thank you for your leadership and your contribution. And like I've said before, I'm so glad our paths have crossed and we have the opportunity to work together and impact lives all over the world.
Right on. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here and doing this today. It's a lot of fun, and look forward to talking to everybody in the groups.
Absolutely. So with that, hey, if today's call was fantastic, go ahead and jump in Telegram and just say, you guys got to listen to today's replay. It was fantastic. Anything, any aha moments, anything that you learned that Justin shared, feel free to share that. Because if you were inspired today, it's likely that someone else could be inspired. And they could be inspired because of your recommendation, because of whatever your aha moment was. So feel free to hop in Telegram, encourage people to check out the replay, because I think it's going to make a really big difference for people in our community. So with that being said, I'm going to end it like my mentor always said, life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. Man, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of this awesome community. And I'm very much looking forward to the next chapter. I mean, every day we're getting one step closer to the next chapter, but I tell you what, right here, right now is pretty good. It's pretty amazing. And I'm glad you guys are here. So with that, I'll see you in Discord. I'll see you in Telegram. And that's a wrap. Bye for now.